So we have a very special device today. It is Acer's Predator Triton 500 SE, which is one of their best gaming laptops, and we have some really powerful specs here with some premium touches. There is also a premium price tag on this because at 2.3 lakh rupees in India, which is around 2800 US dollars, this is not even the highest end model they have to offer. So let's check out how powerful this is. Acer has approached the design of this laptop to be quite minimalistic for a gaming laptop, and I actually really like that. Even though this is a Predator series model, there is only a small logo on the metal lid, and the body looks really clean in this silver color. On its rear side, you will see these nicely designed vents that will tell you that this device has gaming DNA. At less than 20mm, this is also decently thin for a gaming laptop with this level of performance, though you will feel its weight of 2.4 kg while carrying it. We have a really overkill display here because this 16-inch IPS panel has a QHD resolution of 2560 by 1600, and this runs at a whopping 240Hz with G-Sync, and that makes it look so incredibly smooth. This also gets nicely bright at 500 nits, and the 16:10 aspect ratio means that you will have more vertical space for productivity. The viewing angles are obviously great here, and the colors also look really nice and vibrant, so watching videos and playing games is just awesome on this. Let's talk about the performance now. The top level Triton comes with a Core i9-12900H with an RTX 3080 Ti, but on this model we have an Intel Core i7-12700H which is paired with an RTX 3070 Ti. The i7-12700H is a 14-core 20-thread processor, and the Triton actually performs better than other laptops that also have the same processor, as we got a multi-core score of almost 7000 in Cinebench R20, which is significantly higher than the score of 5500 that we got with the Acer Nitro 5 model in my last video, which also has the same CPU. My desktop Ryzen 9 5950X with 32 threads scores around 10,000, so getting 70% of its multi-core performance in a laptop is actually really amazing. We of course have a mux switch here which seriously improves gaming performance, and the awesome thing about its advanced Optimus implementation is that you don't need to restart your laptop while switching between a dedicated GPU and the iGPU, and you can even set it to an auto mode to automatically switch it on while playing games. The overall gaming performance here is excellent, as we got 100 FPS or more in most AAA games with high to ultra settings, and in esports titles like Rainbow Six Siege and CSGO, we saw figures like 350 and 500 FPS, so you will be able to take full advantage of this laptop's 240Hz screen in these titles. The ray tracing performance was also nice, with Control delivering over a 100 FPS. Opening up the laptop is relatively easy, but after removing the lower panel, I found the internals covered by this silver sheet, which may be there for improving thermal performance, but I wasn't sure that I will be able to put this back in place properly, so I didn't remove it. But I don't think that you will need to open this anyways, because it has pretty much all the top specs. We have a whopping 32GB of DDR5 memory, and the SSD here is also a 2TB Gen 4 unit, so I don't think that you will need to change that, but if you do want to add more storage, it is going to be a bit complicated. But with this super powerful CPU and GPU, 32GB of RAM with a QHD display, and even an SD card reader, this is really a dream laptop for video editors because this will perform amazingly well in apps like Adobe Premiere Pro. Coming to its thermals, this is a thin gaming laptop with powerful components inside, so the thermals are not outstanding. After a 45-minute gaming test with God of War, the GPU maintained itself at 76 degrees, while the CPU liked staying at a sweet 69 degrees Celsius. The GPU wasn't able to sustain its overclocked state of 1700 MHz, so we saw it stay at around 1500 MHz, which I would consider to be a good result, as this is the default boost clock number. Now the internal temperatures are not an issue with this laptop, but the keyboard and the surrounding area does get unusually hot, and while the keyboard will not be unusable at 40 degrees, some parts of the keyboard do get even hotter, so for long gaming sessions I can see it becoming a problem for some people. This is also the result on its turbo mode, which can be a bit noisy with its 3 fans running at their maximum 6000 RPM. It is very easy to activate this with just a press of a button, but you may find better balance of acoustics and thermal performance with one of the other modes in the Predator Sense app. The keyboard that we have here is good to type on, but it doesn't feel anything special. I didn't have any issues with typing fast on this, but this laptop is kind of thin, so the keys don't have a lot of travel or tactile feedback, and the keys are also a bit too wobbly for a high-end laptop. The keyboard on the cheaper and thicker Nitro 5 model was actually a bit better, but this is also going to be fine. The RGB backlighting is a 3-zone layout instead of perky RGB, but the zones blend well with each other and this does look great. The mousepad feels great though. It has a glass surface, so gliding your fingers on it feels nice, and we also have an integrated fingerprint sensor here which allows you to sign in with Windows Hello. If you press it down to click, it does feel a bit cheap, but I mostly just tap to click. The downfiring onboard speakers can get nicely loud, but the sound is tinny, so the experience is not that great. On the left, we have an Ethernet port along with a USB port, a Thunderbolt 4 port and a combo audio jack. Then on the right side, you will find another pair of Type A and Thunderbolt 4 ports, an HDMI 2.1 port, and we even have an SD card reader here. The Thunderbolt port supports USB-C charging, and you can also charge your devices with its USB-C port even when the laptop is off. And this is what the 1080p webcam on this laptop looks and sounds like. We don't usually have amazing webcams on laptops, and this laptop is not an exception, but it is better than what you usually get on the lower price models. The 230-watt charging brick is going to add 750 grams to the weight of your backpack, but you may not always need to carry it around because this laptop comes with a 99.9 watt-hour battery, so you can carry it on a plane. Now the battery life on this is going to be a little tricky because when I tried a simple video streaming test on YouTube, this only lasted for a little over 3 hours even when the screen was at 60 Hz. The reason that this performed so poorly here was that it was using its Nvidia GPU to accelerate video playback even though I had set the mux switch to use the internal display. So unless you try to force it to use the iGPU by disabling the Nvidia GPU or by some other way, it is not going to last long in GPU accelerated tasks. But then I tried to just run a simple web page by opening a stopwatch, and this time this lasted for around 5 hours and 40 minutes, which is much better. So even with the 99 watt-hour battery, you may get varying results, but I think that the battery life is fine considering the demanding components that we have here. So in conclusion, the Predator Triton 500 SE is of course a top tier gaming laptop that delivers a top tier experience, but there are some drawbacks here like an average feeling keyboard that does get a little hot, but other than that we have a really clean design, an amazing screen and some really top level specs. Now the Indian pricing of this laptop is all over the place and I can't even find most of the models here, but this is a laptop that is generally lower in price compared to other laptops with similar specs, so even though this model is like 2.3 lakh rupees, it can be a good value for money as there is nothing deal breaking here. And that will be it for this video. I'll have links to check this out in the video description. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.